Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm Waller's Wallet, and today we're going to be taking a look at my new credit card, the US Bank Altitude Reserve. We're going to unbox this credit card, and then we're going to review it afterwards. So the US Bank Altitude Reserve is US Bank's premium credit card, which was supposed to compete with the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But I definitely don't think it's on that level as an entirety. But this card has definitely been on my wish list for a while, so I finally decided to apply for it. So let's go ahead and unbox this credit card, and then we'll get to the review. All right, here it is, the US Bank Altitude Reserve. Now, I am really excited for this credit card, but as you take a look at the box, one of the first things I notice is this black on black writing here. And personally, I'm not a fan of the black on black writing. I would have much preferred either some sort of silver or something that makes this stand out to really show that this is your Altitude Reserve. To me, it just blends in too much, and I really don't care for it. But let's get inside here. And as we get inside, we can see there's a lot of paperwork that comes with this credit card. So let's take a look at the paperwork first, and then we'll take a look at the credit card. So the first thing we're gonna look at is this document that says important documents on it. And then once you get inside of it, you're gonna notice it's your terms and conditions, the Visa Infinite paperwork, as well as the rules and programs. Personally, I don't think really many people read these here to begin with, and then as companies really look us to make us go paperless, you would really think that they'd give us an option to decline getting these paper, because if there's any changes to these, or if I need to reference any of these anyways, I'm gonna go to Google to begin with and just type in Visa Infinite pamphlet. And it's gonna pop up for me with all the rules and conditions anytime they make changes, because what the rules are today might not be what the rules are 6 months from now. So it just seems like a waste of paper for them to send out, especially as we're trying to go more banks are trying to offer incentives to go paperless. Next, we're going to take a look at the card member agreement. Card member agreement, again, I think it would be great if they offer this electronically rather than sending it to me, because I can't imagine people actually go through this and read this word for word. But a couple things I want you to take a look at here is, one is the interest rate on this credit card. You're going to see it's 17.99%. which is extremely high, which is why I always tell you, you never want to hold a balance on rewards credit cards, because if you do, the interest rate is always going to out-earn, or just going to negate any benefits you're going to get from rewards. The other thing I want you to take a look at here is the annual fee of $400. So I knew that when I signed up for this card, and I think you would know that if you sign up for this card, but the $75 per authorized user. The big draw to the US Bank Altitude Reserve is the 3x for mobile payments, and you can just add your card to anybody's mobile wallet. So it seems pretty ridiculous to me that somebody would actually pay $75 just to add this card to somebody's mobile wallet, when they can save themselves the $75 to begin with and not have to worry about that. And lastly, let's take a look here at this nice little, we have our card stock here they sent us. I almost forgot about this, which pretty much nails down the big points here on this credit card. It talks about your bonus, the earning rates, the travel credits as well, and the TSA or global entry credits you receive. But those are just the big points. It comes on a nice card stock. It's nice little piece of paper there. And lastly, we're going to take a look here at their little pamphlet for the US Bank Altitude Reserve, their experience above all. And when you look inside here, it's mostly just pictures of the credit card, some sort of publicity of what you can do with it, stuff that makes you really want to go, wow, this is a really nice credit card. They talk about the earning rates for these cards, the redemption values of them, the other little benefits of these credit cards that you'll have if you're willing to spend the money on them. I personally never have used the Infinite or the Visa Infinite Luxury Hotel Collection, or any hotel collection for that matter, just because there's so much more money than what I'm willing to spend. If you're someone who does like Silver Car, you do receive a benefit of this as well. And they talk about their concierge service. It's a nice little touch. They want you to make it feel like it's a premium card and really give you that premium experience. But I don't think many people actually go through these and read all these. So while it's a nice touch, I'm not sure it is necessary. But let's really get to what we really want to see here. Inside this felt piece, I actually do like the felt. It's quite soft. Inside this felt here, we have the credit card itself. So the credit card itself is made of metal. I think it's actually made of stainless steel. I mean, you can hear it. It's a nice, hefty card. But for myself, Like I said, I personally don't worry too much about the card appearance because the big draw for me on this card is the 3x on mobile payments. It does get 3x on travel as well. For someone who actually wants to show this card off, might have a little bit of a flex factor because it is a metal card. So that's pretty much the unboxing of this card here. Overall, though, I think US Bank did a really decent job with this box and the paperwork that goes inside of it. Although I'd like to see less paperwork on stuff I can get online. They didn't go cheap on the paper. It does have a nice feel for some of these brochures here. And even the little cardstock here is of a thicker grade. So, good job to US Bank for having a decent product come through in a relatively decent box. That's the unboxing of this card, so why don't we get now to the review of this credit card, which I think is more impressive than the box itself. So let's get to that. Now let's start with the application considerations for the Altitude Reserve. So to begin with, US Bank is a tougher bank for credit card approvals. But there's an extra layer of restriction that comes with this card when you apply for the Altitude Reserve. And that's because you need to have a relationship with US Bank in order to be eligible for this account. And the account that you have needs to be open for a minimum of 5 business days. And this is just something you need to keep in mind if you are planning to apply for the Altitude Reserve. And taking a look at the sign-up bonus, the Altitude Reserve comes with a 50,000 point bonus after you were to spend $4,500 in the first 90 days. Now let's take a look at the annual fee. The annual fee on the US Bank Altitude Reserve credit card is $400 and it is not waived in the first year. And you're also going to be charged $75 for each authorized user you want to add to your account. Now, I think paying for an authorized user on this credit card is just ridiculous because the appeal to this credit card is the better earning rates you receive on mobile payments. So if you add your credit card to someone's phone, then you get the benefits and they get the benefits of an increased earning potential and you save yourself $75 per person. And if you really wanted to, then I guess you could redeem 35,000 points to offset your annual fee. But I think this is a terrible option. You really shouldn't even consider it since you'd be redeeming your points at just 1.14 cents per point. Now let's take a look at the earning rate on the Altitude Reserve. And for some people, this is where the Altitude Reserve might actually shine because the US Bank Altitude Reserve earns 3 points per dollar on all travel and all mobile payments. And then you'll also earn 1 point per dollar everywhere else. Now I think triple points on mobile payments is pretty awesome, especially if you live in an area where mobile payments is either really strong or it's expanding. And I feel like in the US, it's slowly starting to increase everywhere you go. But every time I've been to Europe, if I'm in a restaurant or if the store takes credit cards, then it also seems to be they accept mobile payments, which is a large amount of retailers. So if you're somebody who does travel to Europe frequently, it would be very easy to earn triple points on majority or even all of your purchases there. But people who have a Samsung device or even a Samsung watch are in the best position to earn 3 points per dollar on all of their purchases. And this is because Samsung Pay uses MST technology, which makes it act like your credit card is being swiped, although it's being done as a mobile payment. And now that I have this card, I'm even considering buying a Samsung watch just to earn 4.5% on all of my purchases. And we're slowly seeing more banks offer an incentive to use their specific mobile payment wallet. For example, using your Chase Freedom and Chase Pay. But we haven't really seen a whole lot of options for using general mobile wallets. Now let's take a look at the foreign transaction fees. And the US Bank Altitude Reserve comes with no foreign transaction fees, which makes it potentially a fantastic card when traveling internationally. Now let's take a look at our redemption options. The US Bank Altitude Reserve has a few redemption options, but really the best option is using it for travel charges at 1.5 cents per point. And if you were to redeem for travel charges, then your triple points on all mobile and travel purchases would yield you a 4.5% return on your purchases, which is actually a pretty great return for your spending. And US Bank offers something that other banks don't currently offer, and that is offering real-time mobile redemptions, where they'll send you a text message and all you have to do is enter redeem, and then you've redeemed your rewards before that charge even hits your account. Now, lodging has a preset limit of $500, and car rentals have a preset limit of $250. And I feel the lodging preset limit of $500 is too high, and they really should either look to eliminate or reduce that threshold, because this really prevents people who prefer to staying at lower or more budget hotels from being able to really take advantage of their real-time rewards, because with real-time rewards, you would also be able to earn status. But in reality, this is just being used as cash back. And isn't cash back already a real-time reward? And for those of you who are wondering, Airbnb is not going to trigger a real-time reward use, which to me, I think is a total bummer, since I really do prefer Airbnbs over hotel stays. And when using real-time rewards, you do need to have the full amount of points in your account in order to use this benefit. You're not going to be able to use cash plus points if you were short on a full point redemption. And recently, US Bank made a positive change with the ability to use points plus cash when booking through the US Bank travel portal. Because before they made that change, you actually had to have all the points in your account in order to redeem your points for a specific travel purchase, which I think made it pretty restrictive. And if you're someone who has a FlexPerk card, then you could actually transfer up to 20,000 FlexPerk points to your Altitude Reserve card each calendar year. But you're not able to transfer your Altitude Reserve points to your FlexPerk card. And you are able to transfer up to 20,000 Altitude Reserve points to another Altitude Reserve card member each calendar year as well. Now taking a look at the other benefits of the Altitude Reserve. And the Altitude Reserve does come with some decent benefits, which it should, since it's going to cost you $400. And you're going to receive a $325 travel credit each year you have this credit card. And that means you're going to be able to use the travel credit twice in your first year of having this card. Because you can cancel the credit card within the 30 days of your annual fee posting, and US Bank is going to refund you that annual fee. And the Altitude Reserve does come with 12 GoGo Wi-Fi passes each year you have this card. And although I've had mostly positive experiences with GoGo Wi-Fi, over my last handful of flights, GoGo Wi-Fi has not been the in-flight Wi-Fi carrier, so I've had very little use of GoGo Wi-Fi as of recently. It would be nice if maybe they were to change this to more of an overall Wi-Fi credit, as opposed to being specifically just for GoGo Wi-Fi. The Altitude Reserve does come with Priority Pass Lounge access as well, but you're only going to receive 4 complimentary visits for you and 4 visits for a guest. And after these 4 visits are completed, it's going to cost you $27 per person, including the card member, which I think this is extremely weak when you compare it to other premium credit cards that give the card member and up to 2 guests access as many times as they want. Now you're also going to receive a $100 TSA pre-check or even global entry credit. And since this card is a Visa Infinite card, it does come with some pretty solid travel protections as well. You're going to receive trip cancellation and trip interruption coverage. And if your trip is interrupted, or even if you needed to cancel this trip, this benefit is great because it might be able to be reimbursed for up to $2,000 per trip. Now you're also going to receive trip delay reimbursement, which kicks in after your flight is delayed 6 or more hours, or if you require an overnight stay. And you can be reimbursed up to $500 per ticket. And this is also going to apply if the delay is due to weather or even mechanical issues. And this card does come with a few car rental benefits as well, and it does come with primary auto rental insurance. Now there are a couple of benefits I would love to see US Bank add to this credit card. The first I'd love to see them add is cell phone protection, because they offer this on one of their lower end credit cards that has no annual fee and it comes with no rewards. And I feel for the price of this card, they should at least offer it if they're going to offer it on a lower end credit card. Now remember, this credit card is a Visa Infinite card, and there is one key benefit US Bank does not have on this credit card that other Visa Infinits have, and that is the $100 airfare discount. And this is currently on the Ritz-Carlton and even the City National Bank credit card, and both of those cards are Visa Infinite cards as well. Now I would really like to see US Bank consider adding the airfare discount to their Altitude Reserve, because I think it would make this card even more valuable. Now, who's this card going to be good for? I think the US Bank Altitude Reserve card is going to be a solid option for someone who's looking for a big bonus, or who lives in a location where mobile payments is popular, or even uses Samsung Pay. Now, who's this card not going to be good for? If you're someone who values transferable currency, this is probably not the card for you, since US Bank does not have transfer partners. Or if you're someone who has a solid rotation of cards that earns 5% on all of your purchases, then you're not going to get any benefit at 4.5% back. So to sum it up, The US Bank Altitude Reserve has a unique offering of 3 points per dollar on all mobile payments and has a pretty strong sign-up bonus. I think not being able to use real-time rewards on Airbnb is quite the miss, and I just don't think for many people they can justify the annual fee after the first year. So tell me, what are your thoughts on the US Bank Altitude Reserve credit card? Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this week. If you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Or if you know somebody who might benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. And if you want to help support the channel, a simple way would be to use the links on our website or in the descriptions below. Remember, I post new videos every Thursday, so if you like learning about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, or just flat out traveling for less, consider the subscribe button down below. And I'll see y'all next week. Safe travels and take care.